can hear Jet in the back. I think he got a bit overheated. Hopefully you won't get nauseous just watching this. Really drops off over there on the left side. But look how beautiful this is. So to give you some background, I have been looking for properties, and I found a listing in Cloudy, Oklahoma, about 2 hours from my current location where I live. And so Jet and I decided to come and find it. I didn't record that portion. Whoop. Look at this. Can you see those mountains ahead? Oh my goodness. It is so beautiful here. But it is totally off grid. So this is mining, timber country. Look at this. Look at that. How beautiful is that? So anyway, so Jet and I took off and we got lost. We finally found the property. The property itself was not as beautiful as this, and was heavily farmed. And so I know that we can communicate with trees. I communicate with trees all the time, and I communicate by asking them to, when they answer, to shake their branches yes, up and down, or no, sideways. And so Jet and I walked, it was 20 acres, and Jet and I only walked about an acre, and it just didn't feel right, so we headed back. And on the way back, I asked, because it's like this, where we were walking, just thick with trees, mostly pine. There was one cedar, a few oaks. Look at how beautiful that is. And so I asked for the representative for that area. I asked for the tree representative for that area to speak with me, and nothing moved. There was air moving, there was wind moving, but the trees did not move. Oh look, here you go. It is really beautiful land. So beautiful. I have the windows up in case you don't get that, because it's fucking hot outside, and also because of the dust. So anyway, so I asked, for a representative of the Tree Nation to talk with me, and nobody moved. I think purposely nobody moved. And so then I asked, I told them why I was asking. I said I've been called here, and I don't know if I'm supposed to be the keeper of this area, of this location. And And I told them, of course, that I wouldn't be able to live here full time, but that, by purchasing this parcel, perhaps I could keep them safe. And would they like for me to be the keeper? Should I invest in this property? Nobody moved. And so I said, okay, well, so I headed on back to the car. And as I got back to the car, there was one little tiny lone pine tree. I mean, maybe a year old, not very big. And as I got back, as I was almost at the car, I saw it move. And I said, oh, you're the representative. I mean, of all of the trees, all of the older grown trees, this new one was the representative of that place. Because age is nothing, right? Probably no telling how old the roots of this tree was. And so I asked the tree, could I speak with it? And it stopped moving. And I said, am I meant to be here, in this place? And no movement. And I said, is it safe for me here? And the tree moved as a no. And so I said, okay. I said, well, would you mind if I offered a blessing? Since I can't be the keeper, I can't, be here with you. I said, would you mind if I give you an offer, an offering of a transmission, a song? And the tree didn't move. And I said, well, I'm called to give you one, and you can reject it. You don't have to accept it. You can, you can certainly reject the frequencies. And so I started vocalizing, the frequencies, and the tree started moving, and then I started singing, and this little tree started dancing, and I didn't record it, but this little tree started dancing, and other trees around it started moving, moving their branches, and it was all very beautiful. And then I thanked them, and here I am on the road home. And so again, this is a place where they log trees, and this is what I call the boneyard. That's what's left of this area. So I'm guessing that the reason they said it wasn't safe is, number one, it's a good 20 miles off the highway of nothing but dense forest. I didn't see any other homes, any other signs of life, so it would basically just be the loggers out here, and and the wildlife. And there's lots of loose, cattle roaming. You could see the cows. So there's at some point there's a ranch up here somewhere. I didn't run across any buildings that signified a ranch. Anyway, I just wanted to share this little story with all of you. So wherever you go, speak to the nature, speak to the beings who occupy that space, show respect, ask for permission, and always give thanks.